Der Puppenspieler. They said the old theater in Weimar hadn't opened its doors since 1942. The velvet was rotting, the chandeliers hung like corpses, and something was still watching from the stage. Elena, a young psychology student, was investigating mass hallucinations during the war when she stumbled upon a forgotten playbill in the university archives. It was titled Der Puppenspieler. No author, no cast, just a date, long past. The address led her to a shuttered theater at the edge of town. Locals avoided it. Some claimed to hear music, others, screams. Inside, behind a collapsed dressing room wall, she found it. A hidden room lined with hundreds of marionettes, seated in neat rows, all facing one small stage, and in the center of the room, one empty chair. That night, Elena dreamed she was on that stage. Strings tugged her arms. Her voice echoed in languages she didn't speak. She danced unwillingly. The dreams got worse. Her reflection started twitching. When she stood still, her shadow lagged behind. She spoke to no one, but her mouth moved anyway. Desperate for answers, she returned to the theater, and this time, she sat in the empty chair. The strings began to sway. One puppet, dressed in a 19th century tuxedo, stepped forward on its own. It said,
"The puppets were never the ones being controlled until now."
She looked down. Her hands were hinged, wooden, painted. Her body was no longer hers. And so the show continues. One by one, the audience becomes the cast. Welcome to Der Puppenspieler.
Not all strings are pulled by hands.
At 3:07 a.m. the puppet moves on its own. She was only visiting the abandoned theater for content. Locals warned her about the man who vanished after hearing strings in his sleep, but she laughed it off until she saw a puppet wearing her exact clothes. It blinked, then smiled. She tried to run, but the door was gone. Now, she sits in the front row, watching herself perform, night after night. They say the audience is made of puppets, but some still have a heartbeat. He thought the mannequin in the hallway was part of the building's art decor, until it started moving at night. The mannequin. Eli moved into the old Art Deco building for its charm. The hallway was lined with vintage decor, including a mannequin in a glass case near his unit. He asked the landlord about it. "It's part of the original design," she said.
"It's never been moved."
But that night, Eli heard footsteps outside his door, slow, dragging. The next morning, the mannequin's head was turned, facing his apartment. He checked the security camera in the hallway. 2:14 a.m. the case opened by itself. 2:15 a.m. the mannequin walked out. At 2:16 a.m. the footage cut to black. Now, every night at 2:14, the glass opens, the footsteps return, and Eli no longer sleeps. "I got a text from my mom. Come home. Something's wrong with Dad, but Mom died 2 years ago." I stared at the message, heart pounding. It wasn't from some random number. It was from her old phone, the one I buried with her. Another text buzzed in. "He knows you're reading this. Don't turn around." I froze. The hairs on my neck stood up. Behind me, the lights flickered. Something moved in the reflection of the darkened window. Another message. "You looked." My phone slipped from my hand. Footsteps creaked down the hall, slow, deliberate, heavy. A wet breathing sound filled the air. I ran for the door, but it was gone. Just a blank wall where it used to be. Buzz. "Now you can't leave. Welcome home." Every night, my reflection moves half a second too late until tonight. It blinked first. It started subtly, a slight delay, when I turned my head, a flicker out of sync. I blamed it on tired eyes or bad lighting. But each night, the reflection lagged more. My smile would hang too long on the glass. My reflection would watch me after I'd walked away. I stopped looking at mirrors, taped over them, but the one in the hallway couldn't be covered. My landlord insisted it was historical. Last night, I stared it down, determined to prove I was imagining things. I blinked. It blinked first, then it smiled. I didn't. Now it's not in the mirror anymore. It's in my bed.